name is Olivia. I'm a 30-year-old woman who loves numbers and planning. I have good job in the stable life. Ours where I from. People always said I was good with numbers. This skill has helped me a lot in life. Everything changed when I met Michael. I died with easy. I first saw Michael at a party. I don't do you go to parties, but my friends there can convince me. Kaima! Olivia, you need to get out more, she had said. I mowed away. At the party, I was standing alone, holding a drink when Michael walked up to me. He was tall and had a smile that made people feel at ease. I opened out again about sincerity. I'm Michael, CKV for Passion. I don't think we've met. He said, extending his hand. I shook his hand. I'm Olivia. He caught this. So, Olivia, what brings you here? He asked. I shrugged. That's me. My friend dragged me here. I'm not much of a party person. Just grassroots crash bell of homogenization. I'm Michael laughed. I'd sneeze. But you shell. Sometimes it's good to get out of your comfort zone. Does. We talked for a while. Michael was easy to talk to. Listened to me and made me laugh. He told me about his job at a local bookstore and his love for old movies. I told him about my job as an accountant and my love for puzzles. As the night went on, we found ourselves sitting away from the crowd, lost in our conversation. It's strange. We're so different, yet we connected so easily. When the party ended, half-bration. Michael asked for my number. I'd like to see you again. Other girls? Olivia, project cases, Catherine. Just, we can go for coffee. Next that. I hesitated, but then nodded. Sure, that would be nice. They started seeing each other after that night. We went on dates, watched movies, and talked for hours. Michael was charming and kind. He made me feel special, as there was one thing that bothered me. I don't dinner much. I do Mr. Tan parody. Be left in a moment, which was the opposite of me. I love to plan everything. It made me feel in control. One day, I brought this up. I'm the ideas. Yes, Krisha. But don't you think you should plan more? Michael just smiled. Done now. It's about to become his choices. I like the way I live. Ain't any good, but sometimes you have to just go with the flow. I didn't understand it, but I liked him too much to argue. Months passed, and our relationship grew stronger. I'd Worcester Haggard and such share. One evening, Michael took me to a quiet spot by the river. It's a beautiful night. The stars were out and the air was fresh. Olivia, Michael said, turning to me. Thank you. I know we're different, but I think that what makes us special. Will you marry me? Oh, shocked. I was shocked. Ours was a big step. But looking into Michael's eyes, I saw sincerity and love. Beauty of its memories. Akio dispassions. Acoustics bismelling. Creation. I'll marry you, I said. And that's how my life took a turn. Olivia, the woman who loved numbers and planning, was going to marry Michael, the charming, easygoing man who lived in the moment. It's unexpected, but sometimes life is like that. It surprises you when you least expect it. It was when Micah and I decided to get married. I imagined a small wedding. Just close family and friends. A simple ceremony and maybe a dinner afterward. But things didn't go as I'd imagined. Benjamin decided to get married. I imagined a small wedding, just close family and friends, a simple ceremony, and maybe a dinner afterward. I had a freaking daughter. Things didn't go as I had imagined. We met each other's parents to share the news. My parents liked Michael right away. Ashikai Kwan. My, we Evers is a simple, honest man. My dad said, shaking Michael's hand. Michael's parents, on the other hand, seemed relieved. Relieved. It's good you've found someone serious. His mom. Margaret said with a sigh, as we started planning the wedding. I sat down with our parents. Was thinking of a small wedding. I began, looking at Michael for support, as he nodded in agreement. Margaret had other ideas. Oh no, dear, this is traveling, as Michael is our son. We'd have a big wedding. All our friends and family should come. I thought about it, Ma. It needs to be grand. I tried to protest. Aunt Margaret, that's not what we want. Michael, however, didn't support me. I knows best. Should be cutter for the zoo. Asked Olivia, subscribably with early. Let's do what she wants. So the wedding planning began pros. And it's nothing like what I had wanted. The guest list kept growing. Strangers I had never met were invited. The venue was huge, the decorations were extravagant, and everything was over the top. One day while tasting cakes, I tried to talk to Michael. Oh, but there's too much. I go on, I'm still cheesy. Is this what we wanted? I keepers, but Michael just shrugged. It's a one day, just one day. Elliot is right. Let's make everyone happy. The wedding day arrived. I stood in a dressing room, wearing a dress that was too big and too fancy. Sarah was there, trying to cheer me up. Being not beautiful. Olivia, tube spiders were used. I forced a smile. And the wonders! Thanks, Jordy Cheaper. Die, get brownster. I just wish this was different. As I walked down the aisle, I saw so many faces, most of which I didn't recognize. A ceremony was a blah. I said, I'll do, but my heart was heavy. As the reception was even worse. Loud music, too many people, and Margaret hovering around, making sure everything was as she wanted. And overwhelmed. I stepped outside to air, some air. Michael found me. Michael found me. Emmy, are you okay? Do you ask? He asked. I looked at him, feeling a mix of emotions. This isn't what I wanted. I got like it's this motion. This isn't us. To glass which but you upon us. Crashed but Michael took my hand. Vernos! Olivia, Christmas. That's just one day. But it's just one day. We have our whole lives ahead of us. I want to believe him. But staying there surrounded by a celebration that felt more like an ordeal. I couldn't help but wonder if I had made a mistake. I am Ismaili Dash. I loved Michael, but our wedding, something that was supposed to be about us, had turned into something unrecognizable. I'm worried me. What kept me? The days after the wedding were supposed to be happy, but they weren't. Michael and I settled into our new life, but something had changed. Tanae and Clareke and it came into the picture in a way I hadn't expected. It's a Tuesday morning, fresh for Spiel was Miss Niff mechanic speech. I was getting ready for work when the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find Margaret standing there with a suitcase. Margaret, what a surprise! Is everything okay? It's not... I asked, confused. Oh dearie! An ashtray right now. And I thought Michael told you. My house is being renovated. She said, pushing past me. I was stunned. I would trap for my spent. Michael hadn't mentioned anything. I called him at work. Oh man. Michael, why didn't you tell me your mom was staying with us? I mean, as it's just for a few weeks. Olivia, suck. It's not a big deal, he said casually. That was a big deal. Ben's Margaret didn't just stay with us. Did trust her. But she took over our lives. She had opinions on everything. What we ate, how we cleaned, and especially how we spent our money. By evening, I came home to find Margaret sitting at the kitchen table with our bills, spread out in front of her. Okay, the master, I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. And Martina your expenses. They're spending too much. I was shocked. I sincerely paradox. Admit these are our personal finances. It's not your place. Margaret finally looked at me. As your mother-in-law and an elder, it is my place. I'm just trying to help. I wanted to argue, but I knew it wouldn't help. I walked away, feeling frustrated and invaded. As the situation got worse, I got criticized everything I did. On Saturday, I begot Alaski. I was making breakfast when she walked into the kitchen. I'm making pancakes. That's too many carbs. You should make something healthier, she said, frowning. I took a deep breath. I am Margaret. I appreciate your concern, but I can make my own decisions about what I eat. I just saying, a wife should take care of her health. Her health. I felt my anger rising, but before I could say anything, I got wanted. Let's go down what we write. This ours especially requires. Your mother is telling me how to cook now. I said, my voice shaking with anger. Michael looked uncomfortable. Mom, maybe we should let Olivia do her thing. Margaret rolled her eyes. Fine, but don't blame me if things go wrong. That night, at Terce's, I tried to talk to Michael. I can't like this here. Your mother is controlling everything. Michael sighed. She's just trying to help. Olivia, our cardinal curious. She's old and set in her ways. But this is our home. I bow and question. Cause should make our own decisions. I kiss the master aspire. What? I didn't say anything. Astrid just went to bed, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I had reached my limit with Margaret's constant meddling and criticism, especially regarding our finances. It was time to take a stand. One evening, as we all sat in the living room, I decided to bring up the subject. I'm married. I Leistmers, Baby Bragensmers. Cooked. I've been thinking. I began, trying to keep my tone neutral. Every April, how about we do an experiment? For 1 month we'll keep separate budgets for our expenses. Lily Mrez. As then we can compare and see who's more efficient with money. Sonner Westberhout Joroli. Margaret raised an eyebrow. Kata word a Fake experiment? Experiment? Chip, been trying to test him. So you think you can manage better than me? I nodded. You're buying investments. Liar. Buying the days to buy me ice. Michael looked uneasy. Olivia, is this necessary? I think that's a fair challenge. I said firmly. Margaret smiled almost smugly. Don't dear! Acuerdos doctors accepted. A prior for your causes. Though the battle budgets began, I kept meticulous records of every penny I spent, making sure to be as efficient as possible. Whereas prior issues, while freak crisis I'd itery. I knows Michael sneaking extra cash from the joint account, but I didn't say anything. The month flew by, and soon it was time to compare our expenses. Our and brazen. As we sat down at the dining table, each with our records. Rasper wished, let's see what you've got. Gordon, Olivia's and Margaret said, a confident smile on her face. I said, I laid out my documents, showing every transaction and bill. As you can see, I've managed to save quite a bit this month, even with all the regular expenses. What of the war? Margaret looked over the papers, her smile fading slightly. But let's see what Michael has. Michael cleared his throat. Ani in fun of a shubikatsikano. I didn't spend much. But there's the usual stuff. I decided it was time to reveal what I knew. Wait me, Kaisnan. Aiko, what about the extra money you took from our joint account? Michael's face turned red. If you don't know, that's my much kid. I personally emphasize them. I needed it for some personal things. I pulled out the bank statements from the joint account. Here's the proof. The spending was higher than mine this month. Tiger's face was a mix of surprise and anger. Ashiro, I said, sure as racery. You lied. Why? It's not this round. I didn't have an answer. Boss, he just looked down, embarrassed. I turned to Margaret. As you can see, Jody Kama primary. I'm quite capable of managing our finances efficiently. Margaret was silent for a moment. Then she looked up, her expression hard. You've made your point. But this doesn't change anything. I still believe I know what's best for this family. As a small victory, but I knew the battle was far from over. Margaret's control over our lives was still a problem, and Michael's lack of support was even more concerning. At least I'd proven my point. I was good with Edward's numbers, and I knew how to manage money. It's the start, but I knew there were more challenges ahead. The air was tense after the budget challenge. Margaret's attitude towards me hadn't improved, and Michael was still avoiding any confrontation. I knew something had to give, and soon it did, but not in the way I expected. It's Saturday morning, and I was in the kitchen making coffee when Margaret walked in, her expression stern. Olivia, we need to talk, she said, her voice sharp. I turned to face her. Fry. Oh, Dad! I can't ask him! Margaret, what's on your mind? It's about your attitude towards money. You're too controlling, too greedy. It's not healthy, she accused. I was taken aback. It's Meisters. Being greediness or Bernard. Margaret, I'm just trying to be responsible with our finances. It's about your attitude towards money. You're too controlling, too greedy. It's not healthy, Aspashin. So, Margaret shook her head. No, you're hurting. You don't want to share. You don't understand what it means to be part of a family. I felt my frustration rising. That's not true. I work hard for my money, and I think it's fair to want to manage it wisely. I could say more. Michael walked in. What's going on? And your wife, Margaret said, turning to him. She's too obsessed with money. It's not right. Michael looked at me, then at his mother. Olivia, maybe they should ease up a bit. That has a point. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Handley, you're taking our side? After all the evidence I showed you, I still DOS. Michael shrugged. I just think we should all get along. That was the last straw. I stormed out of the kitchen and went to our home office. I pulled out the documents I had been keeping. Proof of all the money Michael had been giving to Margaret without my knowledge. I gathered everything and went back to the kitchen. Okay, you want to talk about money? I will. Let's talk, I said, my voice steady but firm. Firm with Ben. I laid out the documents on the table. Bank statements, receipts, everything. Wow. It's proof of all the money my Michael has been giving you. Meditations and reeconomics. Most of it from my earnings. Margaret's face turned red. That's none of your business. It's my son and he's helping his mother. Michael. Michael looked away. I just wanted to help us. Rise! I turned back to Margaret, her creased breath. And what about the wedding? She wanted a grand affair. Oh, you think Pete paid for that? It's me against my wishes. Margaret was silent, her mouth a tight line. I took a deep breath. I had had enough. This is not how a family should be. I work hard for my money and I won't be accused of being greedy or controlling for wanting to manage it responsibly. Margaret looked at me, her eyes cold. So what are you doing to do? I met her gaze. I'm anything about what's best for me. This can't go on. That's that. At point, I left the room, but I felt a mix of anger, frustration, and sadness. My marriage was crumbling, and the family I had hoped to be part of was nothing like I had imagined. It's time to make some tough decisions. For the moment, I just needed some space to think and to retrieve. The house felt colder. The walls seemed to echo my thoughts. I spent the next few days mostly in silence, contemplating my next steps. After rejecting the role, I knew a conversation with Michael was inevitable, and it came sooner than I expected. It's a quiet evening. Vier kase crashgleichen, der connects by nevers batters. Michael walked into the living room where I was sitting, a determined look on his face. We meet hak, talk. Olivia, he said. He's a Rimish for nurse. I nodded. Present there is living. Yes, we do. Yes, he took a deep breath. I've been thinking, and I made a decision. I waited, my heart pounding. I want things to go back to how they were. I will spend my money how I like. I don't anxiety about it anymore, he said. I looked at him, trying to keep my emotions in check. Decay. I felt it's not just about the money. It's about respect, trust, and partnership. We're supposed to be in this together. Artist is a person. He shook his head. I can't lose like this constantly being questioned and judged. Fail for confidence. I'm coming to ultimatum. I'd to spend without restraint, or but get a divorce, or him. His words hit me like a punch. I felt a mix of disbelief and clarity. But you're giving me an ultimatum. Yes! He said firmly. I took a moment to gather my thoughts. Again, as we was trance. Color error. I know! I need art from. Was If that's how you see our marriage, then I agree to the divorce. He seemed taken aback. Fancy! It's like that. I stood up, feeling a sense of resolve. I've regressed in error. Yes, just like last. I won't be part of a marriage where my partner doesn't respect me or our future together. I deserve better. Discourse were that, Raditz, for the first time. Oust, I saw a flicker of doubt in his eyes. I ain't catch. Olivia, are you sure? So, I nodded. After that, yes, I'm sure. So tomorrow, our partner stands with me, not against me. Not, and clearly that's not you. Michael Banghunt didn't say anything more. Beast turned and left the room. I sat back down, feeling a strange mix of sadness and relief. The path ahead wouldn't be easy, P, but for the first time in a long while, I felt like I was taking control of my life. The ultimatum was meant to corner me, but instead, it had set me free, and I liked but first. The house felt different after Michael left. Quiet, empty, but it was the space I was ready to reclaim. I began by reorganizing, rearranging furniture, and redecorating. It's therapeutic, a way of wiping the slate clean. One evening, while sorting through old photographs, my phone rang. It was Sarah, a dear friend I hadn't seen in months. Olivia, how are you holding up? Sarah's voice was warm, laced with concern. Her groaned. Lim Aitkin, just taking it one day at a time. I replied, I can't believe Michael did that. I was a man, just mom, you say. I never trusted her, Sarah added. I let a soft laugh. Also Bill buddy out for the censor down. But you and me both. It's over now. I'm a vice versa, or you split beers old. They over now. I'll go to sing on what's ahead. Sure to you. Yes, they're strong. Olivia, for Miss Table, how can try? Hey, why don't we catch up soon? It's been too long, Sarah suggested. London's perfect. Let's do it. I agreed. Dealing a flicker of excitement. I met the next evening at a cozy cafe, a place brimming with memories. Sarah's presence was comforting, a reminder of life beyond my recent troubles. Olivia, I'm so proud of you. I am that of Akrabo. We're handling this like a champ, Sarah said, as we sipped our coffee. I shrugged modestly. Ship Bosley, but a stream. I don't have a choice. That's Brasher Sarah Iconic. I refuse to let this break me. Olivia, your case to spisen. I'm so proud of you. You're youngling that's like a chant.
I shrugged modestly. Suppose guy read upper time. Runs cheer. I don't have a choice. I do not. Is it? Tis a me. I refuse to let this break me. And your mountain. Bram Bumber. They smack me. I'm with you if you need anything, she said, squeezing my hand across the table. I smiled genuinely. Just quick happen. Thank you. Sound bright scare.
Life gradually regained its rhythm. Car was thirsty. I reconnected with friends, found solace in quiet evenings with books, and poured myself into my work. I was rediscovering myself, piece by piece. I slow.
Then, one day, out of the blue, my phone rang. As Michael, Olivia would be out. I separate, uninvited. I only want to apologize, said I raised Shay. That boy talk? You with Frostable? His voice was unsteady. I hesitated, but he answered, Go ahead. I go, Meyer, but you said, that's wrong. Terribly wrong. Like living with my mom. It's not possible. She's never satisfied with I can't keep up with her demands. I don't have enough money. I need to come back home. Olivia's he pleaded. I breathed part of him.
I took a deep breath, steadying my voice. Arswa Shurizubear. Daiko, the Predemukimini. I accepted your apology, but it changes nothing. We suffer time, it's over now. I've moved on.
Olivia, please, Ace. I cut him off. It's no but Christchurch resist. This is my life, and I'm not going back to how things were. Take care of yourself.
Look up. Hey, I felt a surge of empowerment. I had picked up the pieces of my shattered life, and I wasn't about to scatter them again. Oh, I was whole on my own, and that was all I needed. Month had passed as the divorce finalized, and each day felt like a step forward. To shoot for word. But it was my happy cursed every bit of it. My life had taken a turn, but I was in control now, steering it in a direction that felt right. Afternoon, as I sat in my office crunching numbers, my phone buzzed malware. Braceless is bad. It's a text from my dad.
Oh, jag mest I just Marvin. I will be there tonight. It's the two of us. I smiled and quickly typed a response. Sounds good. I'll start spring. Dad, what's the terms? What is here tonight? Being with my dad was always special. He was the one who taught me to be strong, independent. We met at our favorite Persimmon diner, a place that felt like home. As we settled into our booth, my dad looks at me with his kind eyes. How are you holding out, kiddo? I'm good. I'm good. I pressed Mr. Apple voice and died. We grease favorite. Ice God. We're out looking for down. Benny, we gluster, sir. I the vouchers to beside him. It's been tough, but I'm finding my way. I answered honestly. He nodded. He said, Brace, be strong. Did you brace him? Olivia, just got tried spram free to stay. Highways have been. She's been. Fight bruiser. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. We talked about work, about life, about everything and nothing. It's comforting, familiar.
Hey, you've always the brightest Steins. I was at the grocery store when I bumped into an old acquaintance. When turning old acquaintance, Danoi! Ivia is the best huntress. We chatted for a while, catching up on old times. Despite parting ways, Emily said, you seem different. Olivia, or Karkasby, was a piece. I guess, Psychum. I thought for a moment. It's the Pubiotastable Channels. I am. It took a while, but I'm finally in a good place. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. It crossed Isaiah, lot that I had reclaimed my life, my space. I indulged in hobbies I had long forgotten, spent time with friends, and found joy in the little things. One evening as I sat on my porch, sipping tea and watching the sunset, my neighbor, Mrs. Tomfren was the Toms as he walked by. She was an elderly lady, always kind and observant. Evening, our special question, Ascuriam. Olivia, Dubras, Boyer. You seem happy these days, she remarked, leaning on her walking stick. I smiled at her. Dinging, McPluttrum. Mrs. Thompson. Hi, it's Kachi Binary. Equals, I'm happy. I'll price for Chichigrass' nation. It took some time, but I'm there. He nodded approvingly. tao ang takbong. Kagyudziya depth next panicked. Happiness is something we all deserve. As she walked away, I sat there, soaking in the calm of the evening. The sober edges. The journey had been long, filled with ups and downs. As I looked back, I realized that every step, every stumble had led me here. I had lost a husband and a troublesome mother-in-law, but in return, I gained something far more precious myself. Eyes complete, just as I was. A calculator in my head and a heart resilient enough to start anew. I owe you.